Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.
Southeast Radio.
Well, Lenovo has become the biggest PC manufacturer in the world, and innovation has been the hallmark of its success. Here to tell us more about the multinational company is Irish woman Fiona O'Brien, who recently assumed the role of Global Vice President of Sales Transformation and Enablement with the company. Fiona, before we discuss what it's like to work for the biggest PC manufacturer in the world, I'd like to get an insight into your earlier career.
Hi, Karl. Pleasure to be here. Sure. I have been in tech pretty much all of my career. Came out of university at 19 and through the graduate recruitment process started to work for IBM. A fabulous introduction to the working life. And I was in IBM for about 9 years, a variety of different roles in marketing and in sales. And then in 2005, IBM's PC division that I was working in at the time was acquired by Lenovo. And I have been in Lenovo ever since in a variety of roles, sales, marketing and operations at the core, but always in tech. So it's been an ever-changing and a variety of career, but always within the same company.
And what was the difference between working with IBM and working with Lenovo?
I suppose there's two things. Lenovo is a truly multinational organization. It is the coming together of East and West culture and really creating something new. IBM was a wonderful starting place for my career. It taught me some really good structures and frameworks that I put into place all the way through my evolution and my career. But they are certainly different in terms of their outlook. And I think Lenovo was very focused on innovation and empowering each one of its employees to drive the business forward and believe that we were a company of owners. And that was necessary because it was really a startup because of the way Lenovo came to market in 2005, coming out of a Chinese organization into really setting up as multinational in one step required us to be innovative, required a lot of local empowerment, and that's been a really refreshing part of the journey with Lenovo.
Talk to us about some of the innovativeness that you've seen in Lenovo over those years.
I think in the industry that we're in, you're constantly driven by innovation. If you're not, you will not succeed. So the product and the focus on R&D has to be top notch if you want to win and you want to be a market leader. So we got a fantastic baseline from the products that were brought over from IBM, but that was 16 years ago. We've had to substantially invest in our R&D and build our portfolio, and we have done that in two ways. We've done that natively through the development of the ThinkPad brand. That, in fact, is 30 years old today. I'm been celebrating all the week with our teams of the fact that this product, this flagship offering we have is been in market that long. But we've also done it through acquisition. So we went back to the acquisition market and bought out IBM's server division about 7 years ago now, and have since brought our rigor and R&D to that platform as well, and are seeing pretty intense growth in our data center and infrastructure business. And finally, we have been developing services and solution offering to address things such as remote work, collaboration across hybrid environments, and a multitude of other offerings. So the core tenet of Lenovo has always been and will continue to be innovation.
Fiona, I mentioned in the introduction that Lenovo has become the biggest PC manufacturer in the world, but perhaps you can put that into context by highlighting the scale and numbers that underpin the operation.
Sure. We're a $70 billion revenue technology powerhouse, really. We're ranked 171 in the Fortune Global 500, and we employ about 75,000 people around the world, and we participating in approximately 180 markets around the world. So we serve all customer types from individual consumer all the way up to the largest companies and industries in the planet. And really, we have built our success on being that world-leading PC player, but we've now expanded into new growth areas such as infrastructure, mobile solutions and services. And I think that transformation is what's going to power Lenovo's success in the future.
Talk to us about your own role as Global Vice President for Sales Transformation and Enablement and what your specific goals are.
I think the one thing that we can be sure of is that things always change, right? Change is a constant. If anything, that COVID did, it was to shine a light on the ever-changing environment that we live in. So my role is to look at that within the Lenovo context and drive change within our organisation to meet and mirror what we see with our customers and what we see with industry. So we need to constantly evolve as an organisation to better serve our customer base. And my role is to drive that change, to look at the market trends, understand how we our best need to be organised, where we place our teams, how we develop them to be trusted advisors to our clients, and what environment do we need to put in place within the organisation to help people deliver a top-notch customer experience. It's a very interesting role because every day is different. But for me, it's a hugely important part of that culture of innovation, because we want to demonstrate digital transformation at work. We talk a lot to our customers about how they drive their digital transformation, and we believe Lenovo powers Lenovo. So showing people how we do it, how we transform, how we remain agile in an ever-changing market it's a really exciting place to be.
And in terms of sales transformation, Fiona, what are Lenovo's clients now looking for, and how is the company satisfying that need?
I think there's a couple of key trends that we're noticing at the moment. The first does relate to that digital transformation. COVID has accelerated the move to digital beyond anybody's expectations, and also how you go about supporting a hybrid workforce. We're not all going to be in the office all of the time, so how can we enable that? So that's trend number one. And we believe that by bringing the portfolio products we have to bear, we can help our customers on that journey. The second mega trend we see is in the area of sustainability. Thankfully, industries and people are waking up to their own responsibilities in this area, and that we all have a part to play in driving a sustainable world. So again, through not only the actions we take with our customers, but also the actions we take within Lenovo, we are contributing to that sustainability agenda. And I think the final piece is probably more leaning towards our hardware technology. We're seeing the way in which people buy change. So there is more and more businesses and even consumers are moving into a consumption-based model. They want the latest technology. They want access to the best and finest tech they can get so that they can fulfill their needs, but they don't want to have to be in constant refresh mode. So moving towards a consumption model gives everybody the freedom to access that technology without necessarily having to make extreme and large outlays of CapEx at points in time.
And when it comes to the consumption model, of course, you're not getting that large payment up front, but what you are doing is developing a long-term relationship with the client.
Indeed, absolutely. It changes the way revenue is recognised, and it changes the way we engage with customer. But I think Lenovo's been exceptionally lucky that we have built very long-term relationships. Of course, there is a part of our business that is very transactional at the consumer level. It's transaction at scale. But in what we call our relationship business, the key to our success has been building long-term relationships and building up that trusted advisor role. So we're now seeing a revenue stream that kind of plays into that.
And on the topic of emerging technologies, what are you seeing coming down the track?
Look, I think what we're seeing is a demand from customer to really look at outcomes, their business outcomes. It's less about the actual individual technology and more about how do we solve business problems. Now, on the other end of the scale, on the hardware that we develop, there is always pressure to be smaller, lighter, faster, particularly in PC and in the mobile phone area. So there's always constant evolution on the device itself. How do you make it light? How do you make it performant? How do you drive for battery life? So you've got two ends of the scale that we play in, trying to ensure that you get the best experience on the device, while at the other end focusing with our business customers on how we solve business problems and deliver outcomes for them.
You will be aware as well that Bloomberg have reported that thousands of Intel employees are expected to be laid off later this month to cut costs amid a steep decline in demand for PC processors. Are you seeing that in the PC market?
There's no doubt that we're seeing some decline in the PC market versus maybe the unnatural high that we saw in COVID times. COVID drove an explosion of demand around device because people needed to continue to be able to work, to educate themselves, to socialize with family, and so the device demand absolutely exploded and spiked at the same time when the supply of componentry was not able to scale as fast. So there was a period of time there where the market was probably acting unnaturally. So versus those highs, yes, the market has declined, but it's probably right-sized in the sense that it has not fallen below pre-COVID levels. It has kind of come back to that normalized view. So there is still going to be ongoing demand for PC. I've been, as I say, 25 years listening to the story that the PC is dead. The PC is not dead, and I don't think the PC will be dead. It just will evolve. But for sure, if an organisation had been planning around the COVID high, then there is some rocky road ahead, certainly in terms of right-sizing to the market demand.
And from a growth perspective, in what areas will Lenovo be looking to gain traction in over the coming years?
We talked about this trusted advisor role and the portfolio from pocket to cloud. So there's no doubt that we are an exceptionally strong PC vendor, the world's largest, as you referenced. But probably a secret a little bit is that we also own the Motorola brand. So we have phone device, and we are seeing some very good growth in that area, particularly out in Latin America and in North America. But here within the European markets, the phone is probably less well known, so we have some growth that we want to drive there. On the other side of the spectrum, with our infrastructure offerings, from high performance computing, from storage, and from server devices themselves, we're also experiencing some pretty significant double-digit growth, and we expect that business to continue to grow, and we have aspiration to grow that to the same type of scale that we have our PC business. And wrapping around that also then is our newest business group, which is solution and services, and that's really bringing all of those technologies together, enriching them also with some services in conjunction with our business partner community.
Well, if you've just tuned in, that was Fiona O'Brien, Global Vice President of Sales Transformation and Enablement with Lenovo. And I would like to thank Fiona for her insight into this innovative tech company.
Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick.